Welcome to Mobile World Congress 2016. I'm Justin Grimsley with VMware, and I'm joined today by Marc with Twilio. Marc, it's good to have you on the show.
It's fantastic to be here. Thank you, Justin.
So I think certainly a ton of developers know Twilio, 900,000, developing on the platform. But for those who may not have heard of the company before, tell us a little bit about what you do and some of your competitive differentiators.
So Twilio is a disruptor in the communication space. They provide an API-first approach to being able to get access to authentication, messaging, and voice and video capabilities that any app developer can easily implement into their mobile application or an online service. So Twilio is part of the transition from sort of the carrier network to the next generation of applications that we're all using today.
Great, and Twilio hardened their platform, if you will, with an acquisition they made, and called Authy.
That's right.
And which you now lead that business unit within Twilio. So, what is the focus of that business unit, and what are you trying to drive in the marketplace?
So, a little bit of a step back for a second. Yeah, we were acquired by Twilio. One of the major use cases that Twilio customers were using the platform for was to build two-factor authentication. Better security than you would have with just, say, a name and a password. They recognized Authy as a leader in that space because we were built on top of Twilio. So they saw how we were succeeding in the marketplace. They saw how we were going to market being very similar to Twilio. So it was a natural sort of similar DNA, if you will, for us to be a part of the organization. We're building out a use case capability that allows all the Twilio developers to easily add more security to their products, and that's something that we're going to continue to progress in the organization.
Great. From a VMware perspective, we're very focused on any app, any device, but access plays a really big, important role in that. And I know we're building out our identity platform, and one of the key points of integration is with Twilio. So why don't you walk us through what that relationship and collaboration and really integration looks like?
So we're partnering with VMware to help in the mission of delivering enterprise mobility on any device, for any application and any data, providing an extra layer of security with two-factor authentication. What's really exciting about that is VMware is taking the visionary step of enabling our capability as a part of the VMware product line. So now an enterprise just needs to turn it on. It's a little bit different than what we've had in the past, where an enterprise would have to add two-factor authentication. I think it's fantastic that VMware recognizes to be successful in this broader mobility marketplace, advanced security is table stakes. And with that, I think the whole identity capability that they're delivering is going to help them to lead in the category.
Marc, there's been a lot of excitement since we've announced the integration, but it's still early on. As this relationship continues, where do you see it going, and how does that really benefit customers in the long run?
Simply put, I'm really excited about the release coming up in a couple of months. I think it's going to end up driving significant interest by not just traditional enterprises, but a whole new breed of applications that are looking for the additional security that we're going to be able to be providing them with the combined solution. So what I'm looking forward to is the fact that we're going to be able to enable all kinds of interesting new capabilities that may even go beyond the typical enterprise experience, out to the consumer, and as an example, where we're looking for that next generation of applications.
Marc, for Twilio, what do you see on the horizon for the company?
So Twilio has been literally a rocket ship. Since the acquisition, we have accelerated our adoption because of the kind of traction that Twilio is getting. And the amount of functionality that we've brought to market and what we have planned will continue to evolve the capabilities that developers are looking for to really deliver that immersive consumer end user or enterprise end user experience. So like as an example, our video products that we're now bringing to market to enable video in any application is delivering on that sort of, again, really cool next generation application type of experience. Likewise, we're rolling out capabilities to support the needs of our customers around IoT, an area where it's still fragmented and difficult for developers to get access to core network resources, and we'll be making the same kind of capabilities available that we do for communications. And we see that as an area also that will require the kind of security that we're delivering together with VMware. So very, very excited about the potential that we see in the market as these new areas start to evolve.
Great. You mentioned IoT. I wanted to dive into that one a little deeper. So between IoT and big data and 5G and everything else we're hearing at the show, how can organizations really use a Twilio to prepare for themselves for the future?
Wow. I think that what's exciting about Twilio and these new areas is that we've been delivering the functionality so that the developers and architects and senior executives in organizations don't need to become experts on the network delivery, the communications infrastructure, what have you. They can get the functionality that we supply and enable it around whatever they dream of in terms of what they want to deliver in the market. So like as an example with IoT, we can be added very easily as a security layer with Authy to provide protection against third parties getting access to the IoT device, whether it's your Fitbit on your wrist or it's the head unit in your automobile. We're protecting those already today with Authy.
So Mark, we've recently announced this integration, and I know we're actively working to bring it to market. Why don't you tell us what the response has been, though, here at the show from what we're working on together?
I think the typical response has been that it's impressive that VMware has decided to partner with a vendor instead of build it themselves. It's definitely helped us with recognition in the category, especially amongst some of the more traditional enterprise suppliers, but also from customers. It's raised the visibility that VMware's recognizing the need that this functionality needs to be a part of any kind of a platform or an application. So overall, I think it's been a very positive reinforcement of the combination that VMware is bringing to market, especially with the new initiative around Desktop One.
Great. And where do you see all this going? What gets you excited about where the industry's headed?
What gets me excited is we're actually in that next wave of transition for the enterprise, moving from sort of the monolithic, siloed legacy infrastructure to this really vibrant, consumer-oriented, any device type of capability, so that the enterprise employee experience will sort of match the mobile experience that common consumers have today. Making that possible in a safe and secure fashion, I think, is going to be a top priority for virtually every CIO coming up in the next couple of years.
Well, couldn't agree anymore. Mark, it was really a pleasure. Thank you for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.